Well, good evening and welcome back to Metropol Sports Center. My name is Nashon Owano. As I'd hinted earlier before the break, I was going to be having the Moran's basketball team in studio. So they're going to be talking matters basketball. So in case you're tuning in, don't touch that dial. There's a lot of basketball discussion that we're going to be having here in studio. So keep it locked. So welcome to studio. Probably we'll start with your introductions. You are the coach, right?
My name is Cliff Owo, Moran's basketball coach, and I also coach USIU basketball team. I help with the basketball program there.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah.
Thank you, Nashon, for having us. My name's Griffin Ligare. Locally, I play for Nairobi City Thunder. We play in the Kenyan Basketball Premier League.
Okay.
And I am the point guard for Team Morans, and I'm also the captain.
Okay, interesting you mentioned the positions, because I was going next to ask which position do you play, just in case our viewers would like to know. So let's dive right into it. Let's talk about the recent competition that we had, the FIBA African. I mean, you guys had a stellar performance in the tournament. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So maybe we would like to understand what was the preparation like before the tournament for you guys, maybe from the coach's perspective.
I think we had a good preparation in terms of players' commitment and their state of mind. Other than other things that came along with the federation came in to help us a great deal. The government also came in and helped us when we needed them most, especially at the final tour that is in Mali. They did a great job just sponsoring us to be able to travel there and be able to play the games. But I give a lot of thumbs up to the Basketball Federation for the commitment they did, even within the tough times that they were facing. They tried to put us together in somewhere that was not very, very nice, but then for sure that's what they were able to afford. So they showed for sure that they wanted a good for performance from the team. And also for the Margot TV, for the help that they put in, and just to help us in our level of preparations, to inspire and motivate us. And I want to give a thumbs up to both the chairman and the treasurer, just being there in the practice, some of the practice sessions, not just some, but most of the practice sessions. Just to say a word to the players who after every training session, they would stay there to the end of the session. That showed a lot of moral support that they did give us in this endeavor. And this helped us go a long way in achieving all these things that eventually we worked hard to achieve.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll bring you up at this point, Griffins.
Yeah.
You know, for a player, there are sometimes when in every particular game, sometimes you look at the fixture and you can tell this is going to be a crazy fixture for us.
Yeah.
Are there moments when you look at the fixture of that whole tournament and you're like, this is going to be a tough for us?
Okay. Of course, as a player, you always want to know, you know, the way the fixture will go. Whom are you going to play tomorrow? Whom are you going to play after that? So that mentally you get ready for that. For us, what we did during the preparation prepared us for whoever. And I just want to give a big thank you to our coach, because he was able to bring us together during our preparation. And you see, previously, even before we went for the tournament, in terms of history, in terms of winning record at that level, it wasn't that impressive.
Okay.
So one of the jobs that our coach did tremendously well was to help us block that, so that it doesn't come in our way, so that next time when we see we're playing, like let's say for instance, when we're playing Cote d'Ivoire, we've never, I don't even remember when Kenya last played Cote d'Ivoire, or even when Kenya, you know, went all the way to that level.
Yeah.
He prepared us in such a way that we really, really, you know, didn't, you know, get bothered by whom we're going to face. So everything that we did in our preparation was so well planned out, and then it just changed our mindset. Besides that, it brought us together. And you know, basketball is a team sport. So when you have all the 5 players playing together, you become a really, really good team. So that's what we did. And even before I start talking about what happened in Mali, we had qualifiers in Kampala.
Yeah, Zone 5.
And as soon as we got there, the fixtures were not done yet. So the guys who were doing the fixtures, they were actually doing the fixtures that day that we arrived. And the hosts, that is Uganda, decided to pick on us, to start with us, because they thought
You're weak.
you know, we're weak. So they will just get an easy ride.
Okay.
And then right immediately after that, we were to play the, you know, before they were the great Egyptians. So when you get into a qualifier tournament and then you get such kind of fixtures, if you're not tough mentally, if you've not prepared well, it breaks you down. But you know what? We just got together and then we just told ourselves, hey guys, we're ready for this. We've been preparing for this. And you know, that's when, you know, the journey started.
Okay.
And it didn't really matter to us, because in that qualifier tournament, we ended up winning for the first time. We've never won before. So Kenya, we became champs in our zone, and we just took the same mentality to Mali. So we didn't really worry so much about whom you're gonna face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coach, I would like to understand your feeling, because I was watching the game, especially the final, yeah? And I was watching the final. There's a lot of expectation. I mean, you've mentioned the amount of preparation that went into the game and everything. When we failed to win at the end, what was your general feeling about that?
To be honest, I want to say that there's a mental block that we put on ourselves, a mental ceiling that we put on ourselves when we were playing the finals. And as much as people were disappointed that we didn't win the final game, from my perspective as a coach, and right after the game, we went out, thanked the Kenyans in Mali for coming out to appreciate us and to just be with us in the final game. Then we went for a 1-hour meeting, and I told the guys, guys, you know, we do not have any reason. We do not have any reason to be upset with ourselves for not winning this championship, because when we left Kenya, we told everyone that we are going to fight for the medal bracket.
Yes.
Yeah, and we were in one of the NTV, it was a NTV I think, and we told them that we are going for the medal bracket.
It was KTN, coach.
It was
KTN.
KTN.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was KTN. KTN. So we told them we're gonna do the medal bracket, and you know what? Nobody, even us, we believed at that point in time that going for the title was being over ambitious. So we looked for something that we believe was objective, and we would work tremendously hard to achieve. So I shared with them after the game Guys, realize something. We were 14 points against Congo in the second quarter. 14 points in basketball is a lot of points.
Yeah.
Then we worked, we did what we planned to do in that game that would have helped us win the title, but we only had the energy to do it for one quarter.
Yeah.
Amazingly, for one quarter, which we did, and we took a 37-36 lead, 1 point lead, from 14 points to 1 point lead. That is 15. We went on almost a 15-point run against Congo. That then, based on our statistics, if you watch all our statistics, in the third quarter we dominated all teams. And when we dominated them, we overwhelmed them. When we got Congo, we came to dominate, and they resisted.
Yeah.
Then, I think people might not believe this, what I'm saying, but I know in sports, the mind plays a lot in how much you can achieve. And we achieved what we achieved because of the power and our mental strength. Yeah. However, when we met Congo in this point in time, they resisted. When they resisted, our mind played to it like, we have achieved what our objective was. So we actually did not fight hard, and Congo prevailed to be the better team that night.
Okay.
Yeah. So eventually, I'm still proud of our team. Proud of what we achieved. Proud of the efforts these gentlemen put on the floor. The fight these gentlemen put on the floor to just achieve what we put down as an objective. Okay. And eventually arrived at that.
Yes. Now let's shift gears to matters basketball in Kenya and generally in Africa. It's such a good time for basketball. I was having this conversation with people early this week, and I was telling them that right now it's like the right time for one to be in the basketball sphere. I mean, look at the Basketball Africa League happening. There's Masai Ujiri. I mean, who would have thought that we'll have the president of Toronto Raptors coming to visit Kenya just to try and promote the sport? So my question is, how far are we to getting to that goal in terms of how, you see how the US is in terms of basketball and other teams that rank higher than us actually in the African League, aside in the African rankings, right? Yeah. So how far are we to getting to that point?
You'll talk about that?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I just want to thank the NBA for considering to have an extension of a professional league in Africa. Yes. That's that's a blessing. That's a blessing. That's all we've been waiting for. Now, the way it's going to work is locally we have teams that play in a local Premier League. And one of the requirements to take part in the NBA Africa League is you have to dominate the local league. Yeah. Besides that, your team has to have the financial muscle to be able to meet all the expectation, all the standards set by the NBA, because it's going to be fully professional. So now, and that's where we don't do a great job. This year, the Kenya Basketball Federation got a partner in Badua Investment, and it's coming in and it's doing great things in basketball. And it's through that we get Madgo TV, whereby we can watch basketball games live, something that has never happened before. So what people need is more stakeholders. They need to come in, and they need to pump in resources, so that now the local teams will have the muscle to be able to take part now in the regional, that is the NBA Africa League. But without that, it's just going to be, you know, something nice that other countries are enjoying. Yeah, because at the end of the day, whether we, you know, it's good to be realistic. It's good to call a spade a spade. If there is no enough resources for the local teams to be able to take part in the regional tournament, there's no way they're going to enjoy that. So we'll need a lot of support. Yeah, I think that's my view, but it's a really, really good thing, and it's very encouraging, especially to the young basketball players who are coming up. And it's going to give them a reason to keep working hard, because all of them one day, the same way the kids in the US, if you ask them why are they playing basketball, they will tell you they want to make it the NBA. So it's going to be really, really nice if that league is going to take off, and then kids who are coming up, they're going to be aspiring to play in that league. So I think it's something nice. Yeah.
Coach,
to add up to what my captain has said, I want to be honest to say that part of the reason that the NBA is doing this is because of the influence of the likes of Masai Ujiri, the likes of Dikembe Mutombo, the likes of Siakam, and all the African players that have proved themselves, Bismarck Biyombo, and all that. That actually Saji Baka now playing for the Spanish national team is actually originally Congolese. And the other day somebody was asking me, how did we lose to Congo? In my opinion, and very, very honest opinion, is that if there is a country with enormous talent, it's Congo. Then we all us come next. But I'm not saying that we cannot beat them. We can beat them. And the next time, I can assure everyone that next time we meet Congo, we will beat Congo.
You heard it first on Metropol Sports Center.
Next time we meet Congo, we will beat Congo. And that I'll be held accountable, especially if I'm still heading this team.
So
one of the things I told these players when we were starting this journey, when I just came back and I was asked to handle the team. I spent a lot of my time in Rwanda coaching professionally there. So I told them my dream is to beat Egypt in Egypt. And I know even the captain, they looked at me like, wow, coach, that's
far-fetched.
That's a little bit far-fetched. But then now, when we talk together and I say, coach, you're real, man. you talked about this, and we've done it. And I told them, guys, we can do this. And that is one of the things that really drove us to where we finished in Mali. Talking about the NBA Africa, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing for the continent, and part of it is that the NBA have also realized that there is talent back in Africa, that if they use it well, then they'll get good results. Masai Ujiri and the Raptors just won the NBA title. So they have every reason to believe. This a gentleman born of Kenyan and Nigerian origin, and they know there's something great back in Africa that they can use. They can actually not just use, but then help develop and make this world a better place if they involve Africa. And I think that's what they're looking up to, and good is going to come out of it.
As we finish, there's a very thorny issue that I would like us to talk about. It's something to deal with sponsorship and such kind of thing. I mean, in as much as we have a talent in every sector of sports, we cannot underestimate the value that money plays in that particular sports. So we've been having this conversation. It's not, I wouldn't want to contextualize it in what happened this week in the sports world. But generally in Kenya, we usually have this kind of complaints about people about this person is not sponsoring us enough. We are not getting this. We are not being provided by this and this and this and this. I'd like to get from a coach's perspective and from a player's perspective, what do you think needs to be done to avoid having such kind of discussions every single now and then?
One thing I'll quickly mention is that, you know, in Africa, people still understand sports like ini mchezo.
Yeah, it's a part-time. Yeah.
Ini part-time.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And they do not look at it as a profession. Yeah. So that's really, really hurting, not just in Kenya per se, but in Africa. But the few people who understood it as a profession, they've, to be honest, sports and entertainment industries, I think I believe one of the highest highest paying industries in the world.
Yeah.
And if Kenya, just like Masai mentioned it on Citizen TV, that not just basketball as such, but if Africa shifts their focus, not entirely, but if they understand that sports can really lift Africa, then in that perspective, we're going to look at it. We'll start looking at sports in a different perspective.
Okay.
And it's not just going to be basketball as such. It's going to be also soccer, rugby, boxing. If we start looking at it in a perspective of these are profession that needs to be taken care of the right way, just like journalism or
accounting or any other kind of
or other profession, then
okay.
we will get a lot and develop the sport in our countries. Other than the sport in the country, then our physical being in our countries, and health for that matter.
Okay. Griffins, your take on that?
I think the right professionals needs to be put in the various sporting disciplines we have, so that they can be able to run the respective sports disciplines the right way. Because you'll find that I'm not taking anything away from the guys who are in charge at the moment. It's just that sometimes either things are done too late, or things are not done on time, or somebody says you should have done this, you should have done that. We don't need all those should haves.
Yeah.
So we need the right people who understand, like every season, these are the dates, these are the you know, this.
So it's pre-planned.
It's
everything
pre-planned.
is planned,
Everything is
structured.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Everything is structured. So we need that. We need that, and it has to start from, you know, from the body that runs sports in the country. It has to start with that, and then it comes down to the subsequent federations. Then that way, everybody is going to, you know, to be happy, because what you'll find that is most of the times, most of the challenges that we get is either things are done too late, and then you're not adequately prepared, or you prepare well, but then you cannot be able to take part in a tournament because of lack of funds. And you see, those are things with proper planning, they will not be an issue. Yeah. The other thing that needs to be done is we also have to create our own brands. The same way, sometimes I don't understand why we cheer a lot for teams that are not in Kenya, like Manchester United. I'm a big Manchester United fan.
Okay.
We cheer for Golden State Warriors. Why can't we have a Golden State Warriors here in Kenya? Why can't we have, I know we have Gor Mahia, we have AFC. That's a good thing, but we need to create our own brand so that we're going to bring people to our games, to watch games.
Yeah.
Jazz study, people come out. But these initiatives are not taken seriously. So you'll find that there are campaigns that will only run for a very limited period of time, and then that's
actually, most of them are just tailored when we have that particular competition.
When we have that competition, when we have a derby, and then that's it.
That's it.
So we need to create that culture. We need to create a sporting culture, because that will call for, you know, development in sports in terms of facilities, and we're gonna have more arenas. We're gonna have derbies, more derbies within the country, and that way we'll be able to create job opportunities, and, you know, for some reason people will start taking sports seriously. So all these things, they are things that can be done, but we cannot have them done if you don't have leaders who are going to actually lead us in that direction. So my take is it has to start from the top, and then it trickles all the way down. But we as Kenyans, we also need to create our own brand, whereby we'll bring people to watch the game, bring everybody to the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking of the brand, like right now, we have, I think Gor Mahia is one of the brands. Right now we've worked so hard, and we have the Morans, and we want to thank somebody like Sonko, who came in and he branded the vehicle
and everything,
and the team was driven around town, so people to know Morans.
Yeah.
And like right now, we need to like create a brand like the Moran brand that we are able to market.
Okay.
Because as at now, it's amazing how many, there are so many Kenyans out of some in China, Japan, that have now reached out. They want to play for the Moran's team.
Wow, that's nice.
It's amazing, and they've contacted me. They've given me all their datas and all that. Now they want to come and play for our national team. These are people who, there are so many Kenyans outside there who actually, they didn't see anything about basketball, but they're playing out there, they're professionals out there.
Yeah.
But now they're willing to come back to
Kenya,
play for the Kenya national team.
Okay.
And I think just to echo what Grifa said, we need to build on that so that we get not just them outside there, then we are able also to influence our young kids,
who are
the
here.
6, 7, 8-year-olds, that they start working on their game at that tender age. And by the time they get to the age of 15, 16, there are, just this year, Mali performed very well in the under the U18
and 18
and they lost to the US.
The US in the finals.
In the finals. You see that? Yeah. So we need to build on things like that, and we be able to be another Mali, or even better than Mali, who beat the US.
Okay.
Right now, so many times the US are shopping for players from Kenya and African countries because of size, their athletic ability, but not because of skill.
Okay, so skill they teach them.
Okay. Now, but we are able to also teach skill now here. And then they shop on our skilled players as well.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
So I think echoing just what Grifa said is that we need to build our own brand and work hard at making it very, very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Griffin and Coach, for coming through.
You're very welcome.
Any single time. So that's all the time that we had on Metropol Sports Center. I do hope you have a fabulous weekend. Just before we step out, there's just some of the events that you need to be watching out for this coming weekend. So on Saturday there is Arsenal versus Burnley, that is Saturday 17th August, and then there is Southampton versus Liverpool. Then there is Manchester City versus Tottenham Hotspurs, that's still on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we have Sheffield versus Crystal Palace, and then Chelsea versus Leicester. Then on Monday, we have Manchester United versus Wolverhampton at 10 p.m. In the rugby world, there is the Prinsloo Sevens that is going to be taking place 17th to 18th at the Nakuru Athletic Club. So in case you are around Nakuru, make sure you head on to the Nakuru Athletic Club and watch this particular tournament. And the main determining game that is going to be played in the rugby world this coming weekend, that is tomorrow, is the 2021 Women's World Cup qualifier. Earlier I had mentioned that the team managed to beat Madagascar and Uganda. So they're going to be playing against South Africa. Whoever wins is going to be representing Africa at the 2021 Women's World Cup, which is going to be held in New Zealand. So that's all the time that we had on Metropol Sports Center. Wish you have a fabulous weekend. See you next week, same place, same time. My name is Nashon Owano.